All right.
Yo.
Coming to you live from Philly. It's the number one rated Paulie and Tony Fusco Show.
Yo.
As always, Paulie Fusco here with Tony Fusco and Tony.
Yo.
Huge show today.
Yeah, let's go.
The Denver Nuggets firing their head coach, Mike Malone, in what people are calling a shocking, unexpected move. No, totally saw it coming. In fact, we'll tell you why every team should be doing this.
100%.
Shedeur Sanders, the draft pick, he's under fire. We're going to come to his defense. He's going to thank us.
Yep.
And we do have a brilliant idea, Tony, to help baseball teams, which we'll talk about.
Stay tuned for that. What a tease right there.
That's what we call a tease. See, now you're not going anywhere. And talking about someone who did go somewhere, luckily, our producer, you might notice the show's going to be better today because our producer is not here, that idiot. And we all know why. It's easy to see. You know, the Sports Emmy nominations came out, and we didn't get a single nomination.
Unbelievable.
Which meant our idiot over there, well, he forgot to submit us, or he did such a poor job submitting the work that he's just too scared to show his face.
You know, I'd say this is the biggest embarrassment in his life. But then again, he is a virgin with no penis, so, you know, it's a close second.
Yeah, it's a close second. But I got good news, Tony, for you and everybody out there. I was playing around with the buttons before the show.
Yeah.
We don't need them anymore.
Yeah, we don't.
I don't even know why we had them. This stuff is easy.
We do it ourselves.
So anyway, all right. So here we go. We're gonna get right into our top story.
Yeah.
Okay. So watch this. I go find the file. Okay. It just says top story intro. Okay. I go into that folder. I hit intros. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Did that do anything, Tony?
No.
Oh, wait. Hold on. All right. Hold. File. I click load. Anything?
Still nothing.
Oh, wait. I had to hit the button that says play. Here we go.
Top story.
Boom. See, there you go.
That's
totally easy. All you got to do.
Smooth. We don't even need him.
Don't need a producer.
No.
See, all right. Well, here, on that note, as we've established, shows don't need producers, just like NBA teams don't need coaches, as the Nuggets just proved. The coaches are just totally useless. Don't need them. They went ahead and fired their head coach, Mike Malone, just days before the playoffs started. Now, some people are calling this unexpected, insane.
Oh, please.
Tony, this was clearly the right move, wasn't it?
Of course. As the saying goes, the best strategy is no strategy.
Yep.
If you have a strategy, teams can prepare for it. But if you have no strategy, the other team won't know what to do at all.
Exactly.
Do you know what the Nuggets are going to do in the playoffs?
Nope.
Exactly.
Yep.
And neither do the opposing teams, and neither do the Nuggets players themselves.
Yep.
To me, that's a winning non-strategy strategy.
Just terrific analysis there, Tony. And,
Thank you.
Well, you remember 2001, Lakers, Sixers, NBA Finals.
Of course.
Right after the Sixers won Game 1, everyone came out and said, we're going to win. We're going to win. Oh, remember, I went on the air, and what did I say? I said, fire Larry Brown
I remember.
now. I said, now's the time. Well, what happened? They wound up losing the next 4 games to the Lakers. Why? Too much strategy. There you go.
There you go. Right there.
All right, well, let's move to NFL news. Former Colorado QB Shedeur Sanders, well, he's continuing to fall down people's draft boards for various reasons. Well, the newest reason is that apparently he double taps the ball before every throw. And a lot of NFL defenders out there, they're saying, well, that's a huge tell and a huge problem because you could tell where he's going to throw the ball.
Please.
Yeah, exactly. Many quarterbacks are coming to his defense, right, Tony?
Exactly. So many QBs are saying that there's absolutely nothing wrong with how Shedeur Sanders throws a football. In fact, I heard that from Chris Sims, and he said that...
maybe not the best example, Tony.
Yeah, you're right. He did suck.
Yeah.
I did hear it also from Brady Quinn, and
that one too.
Yeah,
Tony.
he sucked too. Tim Hasselbeck, no, he was terrible.
No.
But there were a lot of quarterbacks out there that
we don't need to go through the names, Tony. There were a ton of names.
Yeah, there's tons of quarterbacks. You know what they say? Quantity over quality.
They do say that, Tony.
Yeah, all
well
the
said
time.
by you.
Thank
all right,
you.
to another story. The world's greatest general manager, of course, we're talking about Howie Roseman. He came out and he said the Eagles will absolutely not consider drafting any player who has any history of violence against women. And
Wow,
good for him.
terrific.
However, we should note that sensing an opportunity here, the Browns came out and released a list of crimes that they are willing to tolerate if a player is elite. Let me put this
Wow.
list up. Those crimes include, but are not limited to, littering, loitering,
Okay.
attempted murder, actual murder,
Wow.
reckless driving,
Okay.
speeding,
Okay.
speeding in a school zone, killing a kid in a school zone while speeding, public urination on a dead kid in a school zone that you killed speeding, and also failure to return overdue library books. Yeah, just a very aggressive
Wow,
move
just a
by the
perfect
Browns.
example of yinning when everyone else is yanging.
Well said that, Tony. And now
you.
to Geno Smith. He held his first press conference as a member of the Raiders, which is a reunion with his former Seahawks coach, Pete Carroll. Now,
Yeah.
this press conference was full of just bizarre quotes. We're still trying
Yeah, it
to
was.
wrap our heads around here. But, first of all, Geno Smith said he would, quote, run through a wall for Pete Carroll. And, Tony, we found this just very concerning, didn't we?
Yeah, frankly, that's just bad coaching. Don't you want a head coach who tells you not to run through a wall?
Yep.
If you tell a player to run through a wall, he could get seriously injured and miss the entire season. And, well, that's on you as a head coach.
Exactly. This just shows why Pete Carroll is getting way too old for the sport. I mean, he's
Totally.
coaching like it's the 1970s when,
Yep.
as we all know, a lot of coaches used to practice by having their players actually run through walls.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember Chuck Noll, Steelers
Of course.
coach? He used to have the entire team just bash their head into a brick wall for hours each day.
Terrible.
Which explains Terry Bradshaw. It's just
makes total sense. Makes total sense.
Exactly. Let's
Yeah.
get to some baseball news. There was a lot of political tension when the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers went to the White House to visit
Yeah.
President Trump. Many people around baseball and the world were nervous. But in the end, the president decided to let Shohei Ohtani stay in the country
Yeah,
and
he
not
did.
get deported. And,
Yup.
when you think about it, that was the right move given his batting average.
Agreed.
But,
Yeah.
deportation, Tony, is something teams should consider moving forward, shouldn't they?
I wouldn't be surprised if more teams took advantage of our new deportation-friendly climate here.
Yep.
I mean, I know this might be controversial to say, but there's some really bad contracts out there. And if you're a GM or a team owner and you have a player batting under 200 or even sub 250, you gotta consider calling ICE.
Yep.
I mean, it's basically just like sending someone to the minors, except, it's actually kind of better. When you
Yep.
get deported, you get to go to some warm tropical island country. But if you get deported to the minors, you have to take a bus to some random place in Iowa, which is way worse.
Yeah, sounds like just a win-win for everyone there.
Totally.
Tony. Just such
Yeah.
terrific perspective. And,
Thank you.
Well, I'm the opposite of a win-win. A lose-lose.
Oh.
Because, as you know, our loser producer, he totally botched this whole Sports Emmy thing. The Sports Emmy nominations, they
God.
come out, we're nowhere to be found on it. Clearly
Yup.
because he botched the entire process,
course he
which is
did.
why he's not here today.
Yup.
Obviously we should have been nominated in a bunch of categories, but those specifically, we would have just dominated hands down. Of course, Best Studio Show Weekly and Outstanding Tease. For you lay people out there who have boring jobs, a tease is the thing you see, the video montage
Yup.
that comes on before the games,
Yeah.
before a sporting event. Well,
Yup, at the
we did
start.
an absolutely epic tease for the Super Bowl.
Best one
Edited
ever.
ourselves.
Yeah.
Now, sure, it didn't air before the Super Bowl on Fox, but it aired on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
That's just a stupid technicality there.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
it ran before the game. That's all that matters.
That's
Anyway.
all that matters.
All right, look, for those who missed it out there, we want to go ahead and show it to you in its entirety. So
Yeah.
here it is.
Let's
I'm going to press
play.
play. Here we go.
Hold on.
Hold on.
It's not
Wait,
playing yet.
it's not in the same folder, Tony. Hold on. I got to
Oh.
go to saved.
Why wouldn't he put
Saved.
it in the same folder?
Because he's unorganized,
Yeah,
Tony. That's why he
stupid.
didn't submit us.
Yeah.
All right, there it is. Tease. Say, okay, here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Super Bowl tease. Get ready.
The Super Bowl is a battle for America. History is on the line. On one side, the most American thing ever, Eagles. On the bad side, the Chiefs, Native Americans. And what do we know about Native Americans in battles? They always lose. Eagles, Chiefs, Super Bowl, history. Now.
Tony, I gotta say, I'm just covered in goosebumps right now. Just,
You know, the Eagles probably saw that before the game, and that's what drove them to victory.
I had to be.
Had
You
to
know, we
be.
deserve a
100%.
sports Emmy and the Lombardi
And
trophy.
the Super Bowl trophy, exactly.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know, usually at this time, our producer would actually know to hit a button. Because
Yeah.
he'd actually, this is the one part of the job he could do. But I'm going to hit it right
Idiot.
now, Tony.
Yeah.
Boom! There we go.
There it
It's time for the Fusco bet. Get your app out for Tony's
Let's
lock
do it.
bet of the week. Tony, what you got?
The Masters are here, and that's why I've got a great bet for you. You want to bet on someone who knows how to win. So that's why you should go all in on two-time Masters winner, Bernhard Langer.
Yup.
He's proven that he knows how to win.
Yup.
He's plus 100,000 on other sites. But on Fusco Bet, you can get him for plus 100 million.
Wow.
Easy money.
Yup.
Sure, he hasn't won since 1993, but look at the Cubs. They
Yup.
didn't win for 100 years, and they won a title.
Yup.
And also, his name is Bernhard Langer. So he's telling you he will burn hard longer.
Yup.
Take it to the bank. Boom.
Download the Fusco Bet app now. Note, all winnings can be voided at any time for any reason. Fusco Bet is not liable for any banking information that might be leaked to a third party or third world country. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-ASK-TONY for betting advice. Fusco Bet.
Yeah, that was terrific. Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do right now, you know, a lot of these sites out there, Instagram, TikTok, these accounts, you got these kids. They're going viral. All they're doing is they're posting these videos where they take a pack of old baseball cards, Tony, and they just open them. And people
Yeah.
watch this. And, well,
Yeah.
you know, we've been doing this for what, 20, 30 years right now. Just,
Yeah,
you know,
longer.
not on camera. Yeah, you know, we were the ones who came up with the idea
We
to
started
open
it,
packs of
exactly.
baseball cards and look at them.
Yeah.
Exactly, we started it. So we're going to take
Yeah.
back what was rightfully ours.
Yup.
Not let these, you know, copycats steal our stuff. All right, so
Yup.
that's what we're going to do right now. It's a segment called Sports Card Opening.
Sports card opening.
You see that? I pressed it right on cue, Tony.
Perfect.
Okay, Tony, let's take a look. Show the audience what we got this week. This week, we're going with 1990 Fleer baseball cards. Now, you may be wondering why 1990. Well, you see, 1989, as we all know, that set was just full of errors,
Yup,
mistakes.
too many
just
errors.
Worthless, valueless
Worthless
cards.
cards, yeah,
They got
worthless.
it right in 1990. They came
Yeah.
back, fixed all the errors. So we're going to see, open up now, what valuables we have in here.
So
You ready,
excited.
Tony?
Yeah, I'm so excited for this.
All right. Well, first up, we have the Fleer baseball quiz. Okay.
Ooh.
So, you know, that's fun trivia.
Yeah, that's a lot
Okay.
of fun. Pass the
Tony,
time.
we got a big one.
What do we
got?
got?
A big one. One of the great superstars of 1990, Jerome Walton. You know,
Wow.
sure, he didn't do anything after that year, but that doesn't matter, Tony. I mean, you know,
He had a terrific year.
He had a terrific one year.
Yeah.
You know, then all right, the guy did disappear, but that was the year, Tony. That was the year. I gotta be worth what, 5,000-6,000?
Easy. Yeah.
All right, Tony, you remember Robin Yount, MVP? We got his teammate, B.J. Surhoff. There he is. B.J.
Wow, B.J. Surhoff, legend.
Yup. You know, one of the greats all time. All the grind BJs, you know, when you
Yup.
talk, you know, and his name is BJ, which is fun, you know.
Yeah, I
mean-
like saying it. Hey, what a great BJ.
Oh, another teammate of Robin Yount, the pitcher, Jeff Bedorek. Admittedly, I have never heard of Jeff Bedorek, but that just
They
makes
made a
his
card
card
about him, so
more
he's got
rare.
to be good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't have made a card about him if
Yeah,
he
if he
wasn't
sucked.
good.
Yeah.
And well, look, I mean, he this guy's a well-traveled. He played for a bunch of teams: the Brewers, El Paso, Stockton, Beloit. It's all on the
You
back.
can't tell the story of the Brewers season in 1990 without him.
Oh, all right, Tony, you remember the actor from MASH, Jamie Farr.
Oh, of course.
Someone who might be related to him, Steve Farr. And Tony, the only problem here I got to say is you can see, I don't know if you could see this at home, but the ink on the S, there's part of the S missing. So I don't know about this card, Tony. Might not be worth a lot.
That one probably
to
worth
that
less,
era.
maybe like $150 or something.
And also because it's Steve Farr, that's
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, no offense.
Now, if it was the Jamie
Steve
Farr card,
Jamie
then
Farr from MASH, yes, then you'd have some.
that's money.
Oh, Tony, big one. Legendary Blue Jay Joe Carter, World Series hero. Now, this was 2 years or 3 years before he won the World Series. He's on the Indians, which makes that very rare, because people forget Joe Carter played for the Indians. That's got to be a big one, Tony.
And that card is going to be very valuable because it's banned now because the Cleveland Indians technically
it's
don't
banned
exist.
due to this. Look at this logo
The
there
name
of a
change.
smiling Indian. We can't even show this on air anymore.
They might have to blur it. We
We
might
might
get
have to
censored.
blur this. I'm going to have to figure out after the show.
Yeah,
All right.
we'll figure it out.
Look at this. Look at this. This is, how they have some cards that are kind of untraditional, right?
Yeah.
This is what they call a superstar special.
Wow.
NL East rivals on the same card. Howard Johnson and Ryan Sandberg. You never see them together. You
Never.
never see them together.
Hojo.
But here they are on
Yeah.
one card. And what's so great, Tony, is you could see on the back they just have tons of writing. I mean, I can't read all this about what goes on with them.
But it's such a great story.
It would take me very long to read
You
this.
probably need a magnifying glass.
Tony, we have another band card, another Indian, Steve Olin. Anything about Steve Olin, Tony? Yeah, exactly. All right, moving on. Tony, this has to be a rare occurrence. Well, we just saw Howard Johnson in another card. Well, now here's Howard Johnson's baseball card.
Wow.
I mean, if you're a fan of Howard Johnson, well, I mean,
It's
you're
Hojo heaven.
Hojo
Yeah.
heaven.
Yeah.
I mean, so maybe we pair if you pair this
Yeah, the
card and
double
this
card
the double
with-
cards.
Yeah.
I mean that right there has got to
Oh,
be
my
worth,
God.
I don't
Imagine
know,
getting that in the same
7,000.
pack.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
what a story that would be.
What are
to
the
tell.
odds?
And it's about the story too, the value.
Exactly.
Well, the football player Greg Olson.
Yeah, of course.
Here's the picture. Greg Olson, same name.
Wow.
How rare is that? It's got to be rare.
That's crazy.
I'm going to say that's got to be worth 2,000-3,000. If you pair it, imagine you pair it with a Greg Olson card. I mean,
Yeah, like
huge.
Panthers Greg Olson and then that guy Greg Olson.
Oh, Tony.
What do we
Tony,
got?
You remember the legendary Braves of that time? How well they had Maddox, they had
Glavine, yeah.
Yep, all these great players. One of the 8th and 9th best names on the team. Ron Gant is there. Ron Gant.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Yep, I remember that team. Yeah, I hated them.
That's got to raise the value. It's not about the player. It's about the team, too, So,
Yeah.
And then we're going out big, Tony. We're going out big. Last one in the back.
Oh, I can't wait. Who is it?
Pat Combs, Tony. We got Pat
Wow,
Combs.
legend.
Phillies pitcher.
Legend.
Yep. There you go. Going out with a bang.
Automatic.
Gotta be worth. I mean, you try to sell this in Philly. It's almost you can't. It's valueless. It's so expensive. I mean, just that's breaking the bank.
Yep.
I mean,
We're gonna
too
put all
much.
those cards on special display coming up at Fusco Fest.
That's right. If you come to Fusco
Yup.
Fest, June 20th to the 22nd, right across from Fanatics Fest, you will be able to see this Pat Combs Flair
We'll put
1990
it on
card.
display
And-
special.
and all of them, except for the Indians ones. We may have to hide
Yeah, we
those.
may not be allowed to do that. So
All right, well, that wraps up sports card opening. I got to just find the outro animation.
it's
here,
probably
Tony.
check the O folder.
Yeah, I don't have it alphabetically. You're right. Let me alphabetize. Oh, there it is in the O's. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Sports card.
And that's the show, Tony. I mean, just a smooth show.
That was smooth.
all around.
we don't even need our idiot
we don't need him.
producer.
In fact, I got an idea, Tony. Let's call him up. I don't even
Call
know
him
where he
up.
is. Let's get him on the phone.
we got a special message for him.
Oh, come on. Oh, he just sent us straight to voicemail. That's what he did. All right. We won't give out his number. Don't worry. We
we'll
won't give out
block
his
that. Yeah.
Hey, loser.
Yeah.
Guess what? We
Guess
just did
what?
the whole show without you.
Yeah,
Didn't need
so
you.
smooth.
It was so smooth, like a
Yeah.
baby's bottom.
Yeah.
Transitions, we had video, we had everything.
Everything.
So guess what? I don't know where you are. I don't even
Yeah,
care.
stay
'Cause
there.
You can stay there because you're
Yup.
out of a job.
You're done.
Don't come back. You're done.
Yeah.
Yup.
See ya.
We'll see you later. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, better, we won't.
Yeah, we won't.
Yeah.
We have as much chance of seeing you as a woman does of seeing your penis.
Yeah,
Not ever gonna
got
happen.
'em.
Got 'em.
Oh.
All right, have a great trip to nowhere. We
Yeah.
don't care where you are. Bye.
Yup.
The
See ya.
Have a great trip to
Later,
the unemployment
loser.
line, loser. Bye.
Bye, loser.
Bye.
See
All
ya.
right. And with that, just, Tony, this just came across. Book next week on the show. You guessed it. Super Bowl hero, Eagles legend Nick Foles is going to be here.
Wow.
Cannot wait for that. Anyway, don't
Yeah.
forget, you go rate and review this show. You do it on the Apple Podcast.
You hit subscribe
You
on
hit
the
subscribe.
YouTube.
You got a lot to do. You subscribe on the YouTube. And hey, you go to the merch store.
Yeah,
They're running some
20%
promos.
off.
20%
Yeah.
off for like a whole week.
Yeah.
So you go there till April 17th or something. You got time. Go
Yup.
there now, buy all the merch. And Tony,
Buy it all.
great job as always.
Same to you, Paulie. Another flawless show.
There you go. We'll see you people next week.
See ya.